Feeling patriotic?
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Virginia Rep Theater's latest offering is a Tony Award-winning musical that's witty and patriotic. It's a Congress that gets things done revolutionary style.
In 1776, the musical opened on stage last week to rave reviews. This morning, we're joined by three of the stars. Actor Scott Wichman, who stars as John Adams, Jason Marks portrays Benjamin Franklin, and Landon Nagel as our own Thomas Jefferson. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes.
The very talented actors.
That's right. Serviceable.
All right, so I have not seen this play. I guess I'm probably one of the few people in America that hasn't seen it over the years. But obviously, Alexander Hamilton doesn't hurt the fact that musicals about history are pretty in right now.
Yeah.
And I want to start with you, Scott. I mentioned that the first time I ever met him, he was doing Sinatra at the Ronald McDonald House.
Like 16 years ago.
And nailed it, man.
So
And now he's doing John Adams. Going back in
very
time.
similar
backwards.
personalities,
Yeah.
Sinatra and John Adams.
This is a great show. We've had a lot of fun with it. And you mentioned the Alexander Hamilton phenomenon, which is the hook for a lot of young people into musical theater and history. Taking advantage of that, taking advantage of the election, the political climate, the fact that people are concerned about the direction that we might be going. We focus a lot on our history, and this is a great 2.5-hour musical argument with some founding fathers about trying to get some good stuff done.
Jens, take us back to 1776, that really intense time. Not everybody was on the same page at first, right?
No. I mean, and Franklin's role in the whole thing was very interesting because he was really the biggest celebrity in the world at the time, and so he was often used as a catalyst to settle arguments, to put a little common sense in the heads of the Congress, and he was always the one who did have a quip and a wise comment to throw in everything. So yes, there was a lot of I think nervousness about what they were getting themselves into.
They were really almost signing their death warrant.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
Right. We say this is our trip to the gallows, our ticket to the gallows, And when it comes to Jefferson's role, the catalyst of the push for independence in this story is John Adams, but we need to get the South involved, right? Because where the South goes, the middle colonies will go, and where the middle colonies go, the South will then follow. And so the idea is to have a Virginian propose the idea of independence. That way, we can start to at least debate. I mean, that's where this story starts. It's just debating it, because we won't even entertain a conversation. And that's that's the kind of inciting incident. We at least get to entertain a conversation to independence. And
So, Scott, I want to come back to you real quick. So I think putting it in modern context, you mentioned that when you started out, is that these guys, he said that they didn't agree on a lot. They didn't agree on hardly anything, and total opposites. And I think you can put that in today's context of this has always been the story.
Well, they've had to make compromises. I mean, one of the central issues when we get into the second act, we get to the meat of the story. It revolves around the slavery question. They had to make some compromises about what kind of nation they wanted to have going forward. They punted on the slavery issue, which was a catalyst of further conflicts down the road. But Franklin articulates it. First things first, John. America first. If we don't secure that, what difference will the rest make?
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Stepping on the line.
I actively listen to you on stage.
Don't you know who I am?
Come on,
How much fun is this? How much fun is this show, by the way? We're getting serious here, but it is fun, right?
It is tremendous fun. We have a wonderful cast of 22, 23 people and two beautiful ladies who make us look very good. And it's just a tremendous joy to be with professionals who are fully committed to telling this story every single time.
How do you channel your inner Jefferson, your inner Franklin and Adams? Is there a secret? I mean, do you do a lot of reading about the character, or are you strictly by the book musical?
I spent an awful lot of time reading about Mr. Adams. I walked my dog. I was listening to just about every Joseph J. Ellis or David McCullough autobiography or biography of John Adams, and it became kind of a pastime for me. I immersed myself in it, and I started seeing the similarities between Adams and myself, and I just tried to bring those out.
I don't see John Adams singing and dancing.
No, you would probably think that some of this stuff is a little
But
fluffy,
can you
but you know.
imagine if they did? What fun they would have had.
How about you, Landon, with Thomas Jefferson?
You know, I read a little bit about, there's a book called Our Most Beloved Patriarch, and got a little bit of the idea of what his direction was when he was young, and you know, because he's only 33 in this story, so a lot of the stuff that happens for Jefferson hasn't come about yet, and just try to play the truth of the words that are in the script, you know, and this is harder for me, or it's a bit of a challenge because he doesn't say much for a lot of the first act, and just very little material. But when he does start to speak, it's powerful.
It resonates.
You know? Yeah, it resonates.
And Jason, you said that Ben Franklin was the rock star. He was also the sexy guy in the group, believe it or not.
I mean, clearly.
I mean, come on.
I mean,
Look at this.
Hey, kids, you can grow up to be this, baby. It's all
We're
about
not
the,
millionaires.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Yes. Well, you know, and it's funny, in that time, wealth and prominence were far more attractive and higher quality things to the ladies, and then, you know, if you then if you had a rock hard stomach and, you know, and a mansion on the hill.
Didn't you invent the electric slide too?
The electric key.
The electric stove.
There it is.
But
There's our out.
Franklin was known as a womanizer. He was quite a ladies' man. He drank 2 bottles of wine a day, had terrible gout, and you know, didn't take care of himself. But he was, every country he went to, he was like, "Hey, ladies."
A picture of hell. Hey, listen, we've got some information right here. Virginia Repertory Theater, 1776, the musical. Now on stage until Sunday, October 23rd at the Sarabelle November Theater on West Broad Street.
We'll post all the details, including ticket information, on our show website by early this afternoon at WTVR.com/VTM. And coming up after the break, Scott Wichman, Jason Marks, Landon Nagel will perform a song just for you. We'll be right back with that sexy little tune next.